Breaking news for the Cosmos Hub and Atom community. We have a brand new feature that went live overnight on the Cosmos Hub mainnet and is already gaining massive traction. And that feature was literally a game changer for Bitcoin over the past 12 months. That feature I'm talking about is, of course, inscriptions. And if you are an inscription noob, just as I am, then let's first try to understand what this is all about and what type of impact it had on Bitcoin. The Bitcoin blockchain has historically always been viewed as a chain that doesn't really do much, a chain that doesn't really innovate, that doesn't progress, that doesn't do smart contracts, no DeFi, no NFTs, nothing like that. It's always been Ethereum, right? It's always been Ethereum, the chain that innovates, that is home to all of these innovative ideas, DeFi, and all the degen stuff. But then just a bit over a year ago, we had a big upgrade on the Bitcoin mainnet called Taproot. And that big upgrade made it possible for the creation of the Ordinals protocol, which was then launched in January 21st of 2023, developed by Casey Rudamore, who is a software engineer and core contributor to Bitcoin. So that enabled anyone in a permissionless way to inscribe data, code, pictures, videos, anything to be inscribed into the Bitcoin blockchain and minted through a Bitcoin transaction. Also, what's very interesting here is this core difference to an NFT, because with ordinals, the data and the image or whatever it is, information, is actually fully stored on chain. And Elon Musk actually has a very, very interesting take on that.
I think that's like 80% scam, except for Beeple. Beeple's legit. I mean, it gives you like digital art.
Yeah, Beeple's stuff is great. But I mean, NFTs. The funny thing is that the NFT is not even on the blockchain. It's just a URL to the JPEG. So it's not even like, it's like you should at least encode the JPEG in the blockchain. It's like if the URL, if the company housing the image goes out of business, you don't have the image anymore.
So that really is the core difference between NFTs and ordinals, because here the information and data is actually encoded into the blockchain. And now let's look at the success story of ordinals and how it's going so far. We have 56 million inscriptions, which are individual transactions that are storing now 14.5 GB worth of data on the Bitcoin blockchain. So the Bitcoin blockchain is also now storing images. It's storing different type of data than just Bitcoins, BTC coins and tokens, right? There's now also over 3,100 nearly BTC that were paid in inscription fees. So this is massive utility for the Bitcoin blockchain. Also changes a little bit the utility and purpose of the chain. And you can see literally here, if you click on inscriptions, what are the latest inscriptions here? You see a lot of BRC transfers, mints, and tokens that were created. Texts here that are now forever inscribed and encoded to the Bitcoin blockchain. A lot of images and so on and so forth. You can also see here on collections, what are the kind of the biggest collections. Obviously, people are now also treating this as kind of NFT collections, right? Taproot visits by Udi and Eric Wall, two absolute legends who really took this to market. Like they really blew it up. And this is obviously the most well-known one collection here. But yeah, there's a lot more. There's even a lot of BRC20 tokens now popping up, reaching billions and billions in valuations. We're going to look into this in a second, but let's look at the impact this had, right? And well, it's hard to say like how much is actually being credited to ordinals. You just saw the number, over 3,000 BTC fees generated. But if you look here, like this feature went live in January 21st, 2023. Ethereum had $4.2 million in fees. Bitcoin only 300K. So this feature goes live and you can literally see how the fees are just exploding. So yeah, you can really see how this is all blowing up here. And then even today, right, literally in the past 2 months, we've seen a huge spike and actually Bitcoin flipping Ethereum, surpassing Ethereum in fees generated, something that's, I think no one has ever thought that this would ever happen again, right? But yeah, it happened. Bitcoin fees surpassed Ethereum fees. And there are a lot of different ecosystems like Ethereum, Solana, Avalanche have also implemented inscriptions into their networks. Some of them even were stress tested to a level that the chain broke, that the chain had to stop, right? Because you have to think like this is huge amounts of transaction volume, because every mint, every transfer, everything is just one single transaction, right? And if you launch something, an BRC20 token, this causes massive transaction volumes, right? So this is really it. And now we have the first inscription protocol on the Cosmos Hub. Inscribe anything on the hub. It's called Asteroid Protocol, which went live overnight. And as it went live, they also launched their own token, right? The first CFT20 token, the first inscribed token on the Cosmos Hub. And you can go here on that application. You see here the inscriptions, and then you see here the CFT20 tokens. And if you click on browse, you see the history. What was the first one? The first one was the Asteroids token, 100% minted out. I literally woke up to this news, so I didn't even get to mint any of them. But it has a 100 million token supply, and you could mint 1,000 tokens per transaction per mint. It's free to mint, and I'm not a deep inscriptions expert, but the way I think this works is that you can't actually set a mint price. So the original mint is free, but you only pay for the transaction cost. And now there is a price because Asteroid also in the background already has a trading marketplace, but it's not live yet. The front end is not live yet. I actually don't know where this price exactly is coming from right now, where there's liquidity, where there's a price, but 100% is circulating. Market cap $2.3 million US. And yeah, this is the first one, right? Somebody got to mint here 397,000 of them. So he managed to click this 397 times with one wallet, right? So this is interesting, has now thousands of holders. And this is the first and OG token on the Cosmos Hub. If we look at the equivalent on Bitcoin, we have the ORDI token, right? ORDI is the first and most well-known token, BRC20 token on the Bitcoin blockchain, and it is in the top 60. It has a $1.5 billion market cap, $180 million in the past 24 hours volume. You just scroll down, you see this is listed on Binance, on OKX, on Gate.io. This is listed on a lot of exchanges. Also, SATS is an ordinals project that has a multi-billion-dollar valuation, 1.3 actually, $20 million trading volume, and listed primarily on DigiFinex. So interesting stuff. And I also see a lot of content creators, honestly, coming out and saying that they're expecting a BRC20 season. They will position themselves accordingly. There's going to be a massive season. And if that season is happening, I think, people will look into, okay, what is the inscription protocol on Cosmos, on Avalanche, on Solana? They will rotate. Same from meme coins, this will also rotate. So if there's a BRC20 season, this will also spill over into Cosmos. So yeah, but the only thing here really is also a concern and why some people are really against it. Number one, because it has such a high transactional volume and everybody is kind of doing anything and minting a lot of stuff, minting new tokens, really spamming the chain. There's people that say this is a waste of block space. This is a waste of resources. And the second argument against ordinals and against inscriptions is that what about explicit content, right? What about loss? So this is another thing that people are really worried about, because there is no filter in between. There is no middleman, right? There's no one to vet the content, the art piece, the picture, the JPEG, the image that goes into the chain, right? So this is really it. But nonetheless, I think especially when it comes to the tokens, we're seeing huge hype and adoption around it. A lot of them are still being minted right now, so you can mint them. And it in the end of the day, it really is culture. It really is culture that is being created here, restored to the Cosmos Hub. We, of course, we're not letting you down. We are participating. We're in it for the culture, and we have our own stake token, StakecitoWifHat. It's already minted 17.5%. I have to get this video out very, very quick because this is minting out. Free to mint, of course. You can mint 420 per transaction, and this is crazy to see how fast this is minting out. So please be very, very quick. Free to mint. The intention is not here to have a token that's tradable and that has a price, has value. Of course, if people create liquidity pools on Astroport in the future, that's not something we can influence. That's not something we actually also want, and it's not our intention. But yeah, this is, you know, our contribution. StakecitoWifHat. We're part of this new feature, and we're in it for the culture. Now let's get to the probably most interesting part, which is who is actually behind Asteroid, right? This came out of nowhere. I wasn't aware that this is launching. I heard some people saying like, yeah, technically we should do inscriptions, but I never knew like who is building this and when is it launching. So it really caught me off guard. And now we know Delphi Labs, contributors from Delphi Labs and Astroport have built this and have shipped this to the Cosmos Hub. And they gave a great thread summary, which we can go through right now, about why Atom and how it's going to impact the future. So they're saying here, the Cosmos Hub is the world's largest Cosmos chain by market cap, but it has no native support for smart contracts, NFTs, or tokens. And remember, we had so much drama around Proposal 69, revised Cosmos on the Hub proposal, and so on and so forth. But now we have an alternative way, at least how we can create tokens and ascribe data, and that is through Asteroid Protocol. Asteroid will fully awaken the Hub's latent power. Without tokens or smart contracts, it's quite possibly the single best home for inscriptions in all of crypto, excepting only Bitcoin. This coming from Delphi is not only surprising for me, but it's huge. It's huge. Delphi, if you don't know them, you have to learn about them. They've been around forever. One of the earliest Terra people. Astroport obviously has also been in Terra before, Mars Protocol, Apollo, but deep crypto for a long time. And they understand dynamics, they understand meta, and they are not attaching their name to something that they don't think is going to be relevant and big in the future. Now, you can also, if you're watching this video in a week and the hype has completely dried off, this can also definitely happen, and that this is just a one trick pony, and it's there a quick hype and then it dries out. But also, this is something that we have actual proof from Bitcoin that it can drive value, it can drive utility and restore culture and excitement, right? So this is coming from Delphi is really big. So in fact, we believe the Hub has the potential to become the database of record of any project in Cosmos and beyond. By permanently writing data there, it could pivot the Hub to compete not merely with other Cosmos chains, but with Filecoin, IPFS, and Arweave, which means for data storage. And I just showed you earlier, Bitcoin is storing 14.5 GB of data through ordinals. So what they're also saying here, it could serve as a Hub-specific data availability layer, one that could potentially reward validators and Atom stakers everywhere. So it's also at the same time generating a new revenue source, which is also very important, right? I even see people saying that this is actually going to make the Atom Economic Zone look like a kindergarten, look like a little test net, because this is going to blow up and drive a lot of fees and revenue for Atom. And apparently, Red Phone Crypto is the original proposer of BRC20 on Bitcoin, which means Asteroid inherits all the latest features on Bitcoin ordinals, including meta protocols from day one. And what you can do right now on Asteroid is you can create arbitrary content inscriptions, fungible tokens, CFT20 tokens, Cosmos fungible tokens, and yeah, they provide more information here, and also how Reutz is kind of their experiment, the first CFT20 token ever created, and is now live. Now, going back to Asteroid, if you want to create your own token, create your own stuff, you can just go here on the CFT20 token create tab, and it's literally a token factory, right? You can create a logo for it, give your token a name, a ticker, define a max supply, how much can be minted per transaction, and then you can set a launch date either immediately or in the future, and it's done, right? And the same counts also for inscriptions. You can just create your own inscription here. And what we have seen here immediately is insane increase, explosion of transactions per block. A block in Atom is around 6 to 7 seconds right now. And you can see this spike is literally, I was thinking first that this is fake, this can't be real, this is some sort of glitch, but it is real. This is when the feature went live around that time. And then you had a mint going live for Reutz and a lot of different tokens that went live around that time. I think then there was some sort of issue with the indexer, so it kind of went down for a bit. but now you're seeing it's getting back up again, right? And this is just amazing to see. This is transactions per block crossed 1,000 when it went live. And it has always been here. You can see 11, 12, 2, 10, 1 or 2 digits max. And now we are here in the 3 digits, 176, 90, right? Most recent 156. So this drives a lot of transactional volumes, which also drives fees, incentivizes validators to actually generate on-chain revenue. Now, at the same time, also, off topic, but kind of interesting to see here also the total bonded ratio is also going up only for the Cosmos Hub in the last 2 days, especially, but also if we zoom out the past week, it has been going down here. There was a bottom 64.3. I think it went even below that. So if we scroll out from 30 days, you can really see it was at 63.5 here. And then we made a video about that as well, where I was saying like, this looks like it's kind of reversing right now. A lot more people are staking. Airdrop season is happening. And I think now with this use case, Atom is interesting again, right? This is new excitement, fresh wind, and restores culture, fosters Atom's role as gas, creates new use cases, also new philosophy, new direction with the Cosmos Hub as a storage platform, as a storage chain for the Cosmos and beyond. And that's really cool to see. Also important update on the Cito giveaway. As I'm reaching 100,000 followers on Twitter, we will do 3 giveaways. The first one will be a $500 giveaway for a Cito badge holder. As I walked you through yesterday, there are 500 plus OG Cito badge holders. So please show me if you are a badge holder. I will randomly just choose one person, but obviously it kind of has to be someone that's still active today, right? The second winner is going to be a random newsletter subscriber. So, and we haven't taken a snapshot yet. So if you're not subscribed to our newsletter, do that right now. The link is in the description of this video. This second winner will get $250. And the third winner will be a random Stakecito delegator. So we will choose a random Stakecito delegator. We haven't defined yet on which chain, but it will be a random Stakecito delegator, and that gets another $250. So in total, that's a $1,000 giveaway to celebrate 100,000 followers on Twitter. I'll leave you guys with that. Let me also know what you think about inscriptions. Do you think it's dumb? Do you think it has value? It drives culture? Or do you think it's just a waste of block space? With that, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe and be good.